good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So here we have some more interesting news when it comes to undefeated two-time heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Tyson and Gypsy King Fury. 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 21 wins by way of knockout. Stands at 6'9" with an 85-inch arm reach. He's 32 years of age, and he was scheduled to have his highly anticipated trilogy match with Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, July 24th of this year. But now it has been postponed due to the fact that, according to reports, Tyson Fury had tested positive for the C-19, and that Tyson Fury now, is recovering. With that said, initial reports were that Tyson Fury and his camp suffered a huge outbreak, which saw 10 or more members of his team test positive. Well, now, legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter, co-promoter of Tyson Fury here in the States, Bob Arum. He promotes Tyson Fury here in the States. Tyson Fury is co-promoted with legendary United Kingdom promoter and CEO, Queensberry Promotions, Frank Warren in the UK. With that said, again, the initial reports was Tyson Fury has suffered an outbreak. 10 or more people in his camp, including himself, had tested positive. Well, now Bob Arum is saying there's only 2 people that tested positive, and that's Tyson Fury and one of his sparring partners. Because they told us that 10 or more people tested positive. Well, we saw his sparring partners, Jared Anderson, Joseph Parker, they're out and about, continuing business as usual. We were told that his strength and condition coach, his head trainer, they never tested positive. They weren't affected, so they continued everything as usual. So the question started to be raised then, how was it an outbreak? How many people actually does he have in his camp? Well, now Bob Arum is saying just Tyson Fury, okay, he says, who had congestion in his chest on Thursday, but now is done 80% much better, okay? And he's saying now that sparring partner, upcoming rising star heavyweight title contender, Efe Ajagba, is the only other fighter or person in Tyson Fury's camp that tested positive and was affected. Efe Ajagba, 15 wins, no losses, no draws, 12 wins by way of knockout, 27 years of age, stands at 6'6" with an 85-inch arm reach. He was scheduled to face on the undercard Frank Sanchez, undefeated rising Cuban star title contender, 18 wins, no losses, no draw, on the undercard. Okay, so they were scheduled to face off against one another, Frank Sanchez and Efe Ajagba. Now, what happened here is that we started to see that not many members in Tyson Fury's camp were tested positive or affected by this. Okay, the fight was rescheduled from July 24th to October 9th. Now they're talking about it could go to October 23rd. With that said, Bob Arum, he states that Tyson Fury, he took partial of the vax, okay? He didn't do the other part because he didn't want to feel down and under the weather. So he thought it was going to have a negative effect on him. So he didn't want to take it. So now Bob Arum is informing that he's completely on board with completely doing the whole process now, okay? But it was already exposed that members of his team was out and about. Again, how many members in his team does he have if they suffered a complete outbreak and 10 or more people were affected? Who is the 10 or more people? Because the main people that count is Tyson Fury, his trainer, his strength and condition coach, his sparring partners. So there was word that former WBO heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Joseph Parker was affected. And then we saw Joseph Parker out and about at the UFC event just hours after they told us that he was a confirmed case. Then Joseph Parker, he takes to social media and he says he absolutely was not one of the people. So we saw Jared Big Baby Anderson. He was out running, out and about. He wasn't one of the people. So how many people exactly does Tyson Fury have in his camp? If there's 10 or more people, and the majority of the people at the top, the most important people, the sparring partners, the trainers, these people weren't affected, But these are the people that have the most contact with Tyson Fury. His sparring partners, his strength and condition coach, and his head trainer. So now it seems as if they just came up with one of the sparring partners to toss at us and say, well, this guy was affected. So now it's Efe Ajagba. So now they're saying that Efe Ajagba was affected so badly that he was hospitalized one day, came back home, and now he's good. I'm going to say this again. They're saying that Efe Ajagba was so badly affected that he went to the hospital. He was hospitalized for one day, and then he came back home. And now he's good. The conflicting stories makes you, it forces you to raise an eyebrow. It makes you wonder, is Tyson Fury just simply trying to maneuver around this trilogy match? It makes you wonder, is Tyson Fury, he wasn't prepared, as his father, Big John Fury, stated, my son is not focused on Deontay Wilder. And the fact that this ruling came out that he has to now face Deontay Wilder, it is a inconvenience to my son because he wasn't preparing for Deontay Wilder, who he was contractually obligated to give a trilogy match with a contract. He wasn't focused on that, as he was already putting the carriage before the horse, negotiating with fellow countrymen, two-time unified heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua, for a showdown or undisputed showdown, as if Deontay Wilder, the mediation arbitration, didn't even exist. They didn't do their due diligence and show enough concern and respect for the mediation and arbitration. And so they planned to just maneuver around it as if it didn't even exist at all whatsoever. And when the ruling came in favor of Deontay Wilder, when the ruling came down in favor of Deontay Wilder, well, now Big John Fury saying that essentially they started to scramble. But Tyson Fury, he stated that he's been in camp and training this entire time. He's been focused. So John Fury, he says, well, this is a risky fight because Deontay Wilder could come in and fight a completely revamped, different guy. And my son is focused on Anthony Joshua. They even gave us a date. They gave us multiple dates. At one point in time, it was July 9th. Then that changed to August 14th. ESPN, worldwide leader in sports, even announced that a deal was done and the fight was it was confirmed for Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury August 14th. Then the next day, the arbitration ruling comes down that Deontay Wilder won and Tyson Fury has to give Deontay Wilder the contractually obligated trilogy that should have took place anyway. Tyson Fury had been reported to already be in camp, already be training, already be preparing. But they saying now he was focused on Anthony Joshua. Well, now they tell us that Deontay Wilder is essentially a one-trick pony. He only has the right hand, right? So there shouldn't be much to have to prepare for. Essentially, if you already fought him the first time, because they already fought twice, you fought him the first time, and you already, according to reports and according to everybody, you clearly outboxed him the first fight. Ended in a draw, you hit the deck twice if you're Tyson Fury. Second fight, you did what you said you was going to do, walk him down and stop him. You got a 7th round stoppage victory as his former trainer threw in the towel. So you did what you said you was going to do. And so why do you need to overly prepare for a guy that only has a right hand that you already know and very, very familiar with? You know how to nullify it. You already fought 19 rounds with this fighter, okay? You fought 19. You went 19 rounds with him. And then out of the 19, people make a case that the only rounds Deontay Wilder won was the 2 rounds he got the knockdowns. He scored the knockdowns in. Okay, so then how do you underprepare for a guy that you're very familiar with, and you clearly could beat him if you outbox him, and you could beat him if you walk him down? You beat him in both manners. So what's there to overly prepare? You're very familiar with him. Now, obviously, on their case, if you look at it, he always going to have a punch of chance having the highest knockout ratio in the history of sport of boxing. But what's there to overly prepare for? What's there to overly prepare for? I'll tell you what's to overly prepare for. Is that all of the claims on the part of Deontay Wilder, they know this is going to be a completely different fighter. And they're not ready. And so Tyson Fury was not focused. And they're buying time and to push the fight back, to give him more time to help him prepare, because he wasn't focused on this. Actually, he wasn't focused on neither fight, Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder. Because I think that Tyson Fury at this point in time was just celebrating and living life. And now they're buying time. So now Bob Arum says on Thursday Tyson Fury was fully congested. And now today he's fully healthy. He's doing much better. And he stated that Efe Ajagba was hospitalized for 1 day and now he's better. Well, unless they have some sort of miracle, I don't know how that works all of a sudden. And then Bob says, even if they wasn't fully vaxxed, there still could be effect, because see, now he has to essentially save face, because he told the world that both sides was fully vaxxed. So how did it get to here when you have a complete outbreak? So now he says it's not an outbreak, it was just Tyson Fury and Efe Ajagba. It's not adding up. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like your shitty videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.